Hello everyone, and welcome back to KORR Monsters for the start of the 2009 season here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our field of trucks kicks off with Steve Watt in Bombs Away, Ward Clayton in Buster, Kyle Gibson in Craftsman Tools, Todd Yates in Doggone Crazy, Guy Neal in Flashover, Gene Martin in Glazed and Confused, Nico Brock in Grim Fate, No Mercy driven by new owner and driver Scott Hunt, former racing champion Lonnie Hall in Rambunctious, freshly crowned three-time freestyle champion Opal Baxter in Reckless Red, Mike Maxwell in his new truck Shark Bait, and rounding out our field, former two-time freestyle champion Jack Schroeder in Try Me. Now to kick off the event, we're going to go right into racing. You can see the trucks getting the bye into round number 2, those being Grim Fate, Craftsman Tools, Try Me, and Flashover. But before we get to them, we have to go through round 1 of racing. So first up, we're going to see Bombs Away going up against Glazed and Confused, Rambunctious going up against Buster, Doggone Crazy going up against Reckless Red, and then rounding out round number 1 of racing, it'll be No Mercy going up against Shark Bait. Now first matchup on the line, Bombs Away and Glazed and Confused. Glazed and Confused, much better start. Into the first turn, very tacky track here. Track crew put down some sand in the turns. Looks like it's already messing with these drivers. Coming to the line. It's going to be Glazed and Confused getting the win here. First race of the night, almost went over after the finish line. Next up, Rambunctious versus Buster. Rambunctious picks the wheels up. Also, absolutely treed Buster. Rambunctious a little bit of an issue in the turns. Allowed Buster to close the gap up quite a lot. And now Rambunctious really deep in the turn, but lays into the horsepower. Huge air off the racing ramp there for Rambunctious. And an easy win as well. And now we have Doggone Crazy going up against Reckless Red. All you can hear is those zoomies on Doggone Crazy. Coming around the first time. Looks like Reckless Red has a good couple truck lengths on Doggone Crazy. And coming to the finish line, it's going to be all Opal Baxter and Reckless Red picking up the win. Moving on into round number 2. Now last race of round number 1. No Mercy and Shark Bait pulling up to the line. Of course, Shark Bait driven by Mike Maxwell, former racing and freestyle champion. And then our first look at Scott Hunt in No Mercy. Bought the truck over the off-season, updated the look on it, and definitely still has to get used to driving it. It's going to be an easy win for Shark Bait here in round number 1. We'll see No Mercy later on in freestyle, but now we move on to round number 2. It'll be Grim Fate going up against Glazed and Confused, Craftsman Tools going up against Rambunctious, Try Me going up against Reckless Red, and then Flashover going up against Shark Bait. First matchup of round number 2, pulling up to the line, Grim Fate and Glazed and Confused. Grim Fate, huge wheelie off the line. Coming around the first time, Glazed Confused with the advantage. Not a huge one. Now coming around the last turn, looks pretty close so far, but it's going to be Glazed Confused getting the win. That wheelie definitely cost Grim Fate on the line. Now next up, Craftsman Tools and Rambunctious. Good start from both trucks, both pulling the front wheels. Now Rambunctious looks like got through the turn a lot faster than Craftsman. Into the last turn. Rambunctious goes wide again. Cracks the whip, and an easy win for Rambunctious going into the semifinals now. Craftsman not quite able to keep up with the big Hemi in the back of that Ram. Now we have Try Me and Reckless Red on the line. Try Me, another wheelie. Like I said before, very grippy track. Try Me goes up and over, and they're going to shut down Reckless Red because Try Me's in the lane. So Reckless Red getting the win here because Try Me flipped over. Now we have Flashover and Sharkbait pulling up to the line. Good start from both trucks. Flashover pulling the front wheels a little bit. Coming across the line the first time, it's all Mike Maxwell and Sharkbait. Good turns from both trucks. Sharkbait a little bit of trouble, but still picks up the win. Flashover, what a save. Almost went over. Most other drivers would have dumped that thing on its lid, but we're in the semifinals now. That's going to see Glazed and Confused versus Rambunctious, and then Reckless Red versus Sharkbait. Now we have our first matchup pulling to the line, Glazed and Confused and Rambunctious. Rambunctious again, big wheelie off the line, but it's not really hurting him by the looks of it. Coming across the line the first time, Rambunctious about a truck length on Glazed and Confused. Coming to the line, it's going to be close. It's going to be Rambunctious, though, going into the finals over Glazed and Confused. Now, second to last race of the event, Reckless Red versus Sharkbait. 5 championships between these two drivers. Into the first turn, Reckless Red hits the car, almost goes over. It's going to open up a massive lead for Sharkbait. Coming around the final turn, and it's going to be Sharkbait. Reckless Red closed up that gap huge, and up and over goes Opal Baxter. Huge flip there for her. We'll have to see if that truck's okay for Freestyle. But now we have our finals matchup. It's going to be Rambunctious going up against Sharkbait. Who's going to be the first winner of the 2009 season? Another big wheelie for Rambunctious off the line. Into the first turn, looking good so far. Rambunctious a little wide. Sharkbait has the advantage. Oh, now Sharkbait hits a car in the final turn, over-rotates, and Rambunctious is going to get the win here in Atlanta. Mike Maxwell made one mistake all night, and it's going to cost him the win. But now we move on into Freestyle. You can see our order here. It'll be Bombs Away, then No Mercy, Glazed and Confused, Buster, Rambunctious, Craftsman Tools, Grim Fate, Sharkbait, Flashover, Doggone Crazy, Try Me, and if that truck's okay to go, Reckless Red will close us out here. But now first truck pulling out, Steve Watt and Bombs Away. We saw this truck for the first time last year and was immediately a fan favorite. So we'll have to see what he can do here to get us started. Great slap wheelie to kick off Freestyle. Going for another slap wheelie and another really good one. So far, though, he's taken up quite a bit of time for just 2 hits. Make that 3 hits now. Steve Watt very much lacking in momentum right now. Couple of good hits so far, though. He's hit almost everything out there, but not a whole lot of elevation or really anything going on here. It looks like he's going to test out that sand they put in the middle of the track, going for donuts. 30 seconds left on the clock. Just a couple of rotations out of Bombs Away. There we go, a little bit of air finally out of him. But this is a very lackluster run from Bombs Away. There's some big air, but way too late in the run. This is not going to be a very good score to start us off. And one last hit on the bus stack. Combos it up with the yellow van stack. We'll have to see what the judges score that run. I'm not picturing anything too big. He's going to park it up on the big ramp. It's going to be an 18. So judges, I think, a little generous with that score. But we'll move on now to Scott Hunt coming out in No Mercy. So far, good air to get us started into a slap wheelie. And up for his next hit, going right for the big ramp. Got some air off of it, not a whole lot. So Scott's only done a couple of events in this truck at this point. So these are definitely the biggest obstacles he's seen. So we'll have to see how he can carry himself. Right now, doesn't look like he's afraid of the loud pedal, but definitely taking his time here in between hits. Good air over the van stack, gets into trouble. If he backs up, he's not going to. Up and over goes No Mercy. A lot of time left on the clock, only at 10. A veteran there would have known to back up. Scott tried to keep on going forward, but now we have Gene Martin and Glazed and Confused coming out. Gene, someone normally puts on a very good show. I think he's a little bit underrated, so we'll have to see how he handles himself here. So far, pretty good start to the run. And up for that next hit. Oh, gets tripped up by the van a little bit. Now up the backside of the big ramp. Walks a wheelie down it. Good start to the run so far. I think he wanted a slap wheelie there, but the truck just wasn't quite angled right for him. Halfway through the run. There we go. There's some big air. Now combos it up with some more good air on the van stack as well. This is a little bit of a tame run from Gene as he's going to go for a cross thread here. Just as I was about to say, this is a little tame for him. Oh, gets into trouble once again, and he's going to recover it. More huge air off the bus stack. Time for one more hit here for Glazed and Confused. And I think he's going to try to end it with some donuts here in the center of the floor. So you can hear that engine just screaming down there. Great set of donuts out of Glazed Confused. It's going to be a 22 to take the lead, but still a ton of room for someone to pass him. Next up, we have Ward Clayton coming out in Buster. Looking to see how he's going to start. Backside of the red lane. Tried for a sky wheelie, didn't quite get it. Buster, of course, the first of the 4 Team Try Me trucks here. And of course, you know, Team Try Me's in the building. You know we're going to see at least some attempts at some crazy cross threads. Doesn't always work out for him, but we'll have to see what Buster can do here and what he's going to choose to try to do a giant cross thread on. Some great air off that red lane. So far, good momentum. Best of the event so far. Lining up for something here. Good air over the yellow stack. Combos it up with the bus stack. Good combo there out of Buster. 25 seconds left on the clock. Get some good air in the back of the red lane. Last 10 seconds, still no cross thread. Gets into trouble, slams it into the bus, and the truck's going to shut off on 2 wheels. It's going to be 21 for Buster. So that'll put Buster into second place. Now we have our racing winner, Lonnie Hall and Rambunctious, coming out. Great slap wheelie to get us started. Puts it right on the wheelie bar. Huge air off the red lane. Rambunctious, definitely one of the most powerful trucks we have competing here on KORR Monsters. And that power allows him to just roll up to a ramp, blip the throttle, and launch that thing skyward. Little bit of an awkward landing there on that one. And what's he doing here? Is he going to go for a power wheelie? Yes, he is. Gets it up. Don't know if that was quite as big as he wanted. Up and over. He's going to go. Not going to save that one. It's going to be an 11 for Rambunctious. We haven't seen a power wheelie in quite a long time here. But now we have Kyle Gibson coming out in Craftsman Tools. Getting us started with a crazy slap wheelie. Put it right on the tailgate and ripped it off. All four wheels off the ground to get us started. Kyle Gibson out here meaning business. Huge air off that car stack. Now we saw Kyle struggle a little bit in freestyle last year, at least at the start of the season, as we get a cross thread out of him. Around now in the run, he'd have a really bad bounce and just go over. But looks like they got the setup on that truck a little better now, a lot more to his liking, and a lot more stable. So we come down, 35 seconds left on the clock. Really good momentum, really good wow moments in this run. So you get some more great air off the car stack, combos it up with the blue lane. Kyle's hit, I think, everything on the floor at this point. And looks like he's going to go for another cross thread. Going to try to sky it out. Up and over. Kyle Gibson just did a backflip in Craftsman Tools. Are you kidding me? Gets a perfect 30. But wow. Kyle Gibson, first KORR Monsters driver to do a backflip. Nico Brock comes out in Grim Fate. I don't know if Nico knows how to top that, but he started off with a huge hit on the racing lane. So far, good start for Nico. Still in shock of what we just saw. We've seen a few trucks almost get a flip, but I don't think we've ever seen anyone actually get that close, especially basically land it like that. Right now, good run for Grim Fate. Bunch of good hits, really good momentum. A little bit of a slap wheelie, gets into trouble. Up and over hard on the front of the chassis. It's going to be a 14 for Nico Brock and Grim Fate. So now we have Mike Maxwell coming out in Sharkbait. Former freestyle champion, also a former racing champion. Only driver in KORR Monsters to have won both. And of course, that beautiful brand new truck he's driving. Full 3D body. We've seen plenty of trucks with 3D elements, but this one's all 3D. And very aggressive looking at that. So far, great start to the run. Good momentum. But again, I'm not sure how you can compete with the backflip we saw out of Craftsman Tools. Lining up, getting some good air over that van stack. Great air off the backside of the big ramp. Now Mike Maxwell airing it out big off the FMX ramp. 27 seconds left on the clock. Does he have anything else for us? Some more great air into a combo onto two wheels. And he's going to recover it, but has to back up. I don't think he actually needed to. I think he thought he was closer to the wall than that. Cross threads the bus stack up and over onto the sidewalls, tries to save it. And truck's going to shut off with him leaning against the van stack. It'll be a 22 for Sharkbait. So I think that'll tie him for second place now, as now we have Guy Neal coming out in flashover. Good hit to get us started. Tried for a little bit of a slap wheelie again. Did not like the bounce he got. We've seen a few drivers. Definitely looks like they set up for a slap wheelie and then they just give up on it. And again, he just gave up on that one too. I don't know if he's just not going for slap wheelies or if he's just not liking them. Huge air off the red lane for flashover. About halfway through the run now. Huge air off the bus stack. Up onto two wheels, brings it back down. Of course, Guy Neal finally got an invite to finals last year. Did not disappoint, won a couple of rounds in racing, and then finished top 5 in freestyle. So you have to imagine he's going to get another invite this year. Huge air on the back of the FMX ramp. 10 seconds left on the clock. What has he got left for us? Some more good air on the backside of the bus stack. Time for one more hit, maybe. We'll see if the judges decide to count this. Huge air off the blue lane. And Guy Neal going to keep on going here for the fans. First truck to actually fill time in a little bit. Seen quite a few trucks go over. Great slap wheelie there at a flashover. Some more good air off the blue lane. And then combos it up with the van stack. Have to think this is definitely going into second place. Cross thread on the FMX ramp. This truck's landing really good right now. Update the suspension underneath it, as it'll be a 25 for Guy Neal and flashover. So next up, Todd Yates bringing out Doggone Crazy. Loudest truck in the tour by a wide margin. Believe the only truck with zoomy headers as well. So definitely explains why it's so loud. Now Todd was part of a very controversial judging call at finals. A lot of people thought he should have won. Gets into trouble up and over goes Doggone Crazy way too early in the run. Only a 7. Not the start he was looking for. But now we have Jack Schroeder and Try Me coming out. Huge air to get us started. And I'm hearing word Opal Baxter little shooken up after her crash and racing. And she's not going to be able to come out and freestyle. So Jack Schroeder, last truck that can possibly tie Craftsman Tools. So far, great run out of Jack Schroeder. Jack not afraid to throw down a great freestyle run. Currently second winningest freestyle driver in KORR Monsters. Huge air off the van stack. Combos it up with the bus stack. Great move there halfway through the run for Try Me. Cross thread. Hard landing on the right side. He's going to recover it. Oh, gets up onto two wheels, brings it back down. 30 seconds left on the clock for Jack Schroeder and Try Me. He's going to go for a cross thread. Huge air. Lands it on the backside of the van stack. Gets into trouble. Almost saves it. Brings it back down once again. I don't know how many times he just saved it there, but it was quite a few. Huge cross thread out of Try Me there. He's just throwing this thing around the track now. More huge air off the van stack, up and over. He's going to go on the racing lane. And judges are going to give that a 30. They thought that tied Craftsman Tools. So that means Kyle Gibson going to get his first career win here in KORR Monsters. Jack Schroeder going to tally up yet another freestyle win. Both of them with a perfect 30 here. Then it'll be Flashover in third with a 25. Glazed and Confused and Sharkbait with a 22. Buster with a 21. Bombs Away with an 18. Grim Fate with a 14, Rambunctious with an 11, No Mercy with a 10, doggone crazy with a 7 and Opal Baxter and Reckless Red not coming out to freestyle. But this has been definitely a crazy start to the 2009 season, seeing the first backflip for a monster truck here on KORR Monsters. But as always, let us know what you thought about this show down in the comments below. Do you think the judges got that right? Do you think that should have been a tie? And if not, which one do you think should have actually won? But as always, be sure to check us out on Instagram to keep up to date with everything going on behind the scenes. And we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week in El Paso, Texas. We'll see you then.